Hey, Soul Tribe. Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Hey, K Hypsee, how are you? Thank you so very much for the likes, the shares, views, subscribes, comments, donations, everything. I appreciate it all. I'm trying to get this started. Okay, well, whatever. Ah, thank you so very much. Let's ring the bell. Let's clear out the energy. And then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us this evening. I don't know why, but I could hear like SOS, SOS, Mayday, Mayday. You know, like back in the day, they would have that whatever they were, back in the day, way back in the day, whenever they were the telegram. That's what I was hearing. Hi, Felsenberg. How are you? So that's what I heard. It's almost like some karmics or this coven. They're calling for backup. That's what I heard. Anyway, bottom of the deck. Strength. Yeah, I feel like this group felt like they had all the power. They felt like they were the ones that were strong because there was more of them than there was of you. But Spirit's saying that they made their choice. And, they celebrated way too soon. They celebrated way too soon. But then they found themselves getting their ass kicked and they had to call for backup. Yeah, it's like they needed to proceed with caution whenever it came to you because you already put in that work. You already knew what to do. Hey, High Priestess, how are you? And you were already going to get justice for what you had been through. Hola, Marcia, buenas tardes, buenas noches, whatever. What time is it there? Buenas noches. See, you balanced the whole situation out. Even though they tried to put 10 swords in your back, you balanced that entire situation out because the sun came out. And they say what goes in the dark comes out to the light. See, it's almost like, I don't want to say that you had fun doing this, but I'm going to say that you're the one who ends up getting the last laugh when it comes to this. Because not only, see, they took you for a fool. They thought that you were just so compassionate, so loving, so kind, so this, and you are. But you know how to get down. So, all right. So, Felsenberg, I don't have time to read all of those remarks because I am reading for the collective. But if you want to do a private, you can do a super thanks, a $25 super thanks, and then you can go ahead and express yourself. See, they thought that you were so kind and everything that you wouldn't know how to protect yourself. But not only are you kind, but you're also an empath, And so they took this as an opportunity to put an end to you. But that's not what happened. See, your heart spoke for you. You had that courage in your heart. You can't make this up. You had that courage in your heart, and your heart spoke for you. And whatever it was that these people were trying to do, because they thought that they had some sort of plan or they had some secret, I don't know why I heard this talisman, the secret talisman. and they were exploring using it so that they could overpower you. And because, like I said, there was a lot more of them than there was of you. And at this point, they just wanted to bring you some sort of conflict. Now, you were very diplomatic in the way that you handled everything. You know, you you wasn't going to shout. You weren't going to scream. You weren't going to do any of that. But you were going to bring that tower. You was definitely going to bring that tower. You know, and they felt like that you would never be able to escape whatever they were trying to bring. But you had that wisdom, and you knew how to get from under what they were trying to do. So it's like, you went ahead, and I feel like this group, they went ahead and they moved forward because they felt like they were able to like get your goat somehow. Like maybe somebody that they had convinced to work against you was somebody that I feel like that person was having like reconsidering thoughts of like, why did I do this again? Why would I do this? Like this person's eyes suddenly open, whether it was their third eye or them just having an aha moment. This person was like, why would I have done this? Yeah, because see this group thought that they were going to have their wish fulfillment, and they were. It's like this father thought that they were going to be able to, or the head of this group, this head of this coven, thought that they were going to get what they wanted. Things were going to work out in their favor because this was the number one right hand man of the devil, the number one. This was somebody that had deceived you time and time and time again. And also there was this witch that was involved. Hey, J Mike, confirmation. There was this witch that was involved, and this witch was thinking about times from the past, that she had possibly did things that had set you back, or made you have some type of internal struggle. But it's not like that anymore because see, you had like deepened your connection with spirit, and you were a lot more stable and sturdy than what that witch remembered you. Yeah, you have worked long and hard on your connection with spirit, and so the only way forward was to uncover the truth. And whenever you uncover the truth, none of the spells, none of the witchcraft, none of that works anymore, because you see what the plan is. You see what they're trying to do. They knew, they could tell, they could feel that they weren't going to be able to overpower you. They could feel that you were going to win. It's like, even though they didn't want you to win, they could feel something happening, the tide turning in your favor. They could feel that every time they came against you, it seemed like it set them back, especially when somebody left. Somebody had an awakening and they left. That's whenever they knew that things were not going to be in their favor. That's when they knew that you were balancing everything out. You were this earth angel. You was bringing balance to the situation because of your decision. I feel like your decision to broadcast everything to the world. That's whenever they really knew they didn't have a chance, because they would only have a chance if everything was on the hush hush. That's how they did it before. That's how those before them was able to successfully overpower the scapegoats, the high priestesses, the high priest, in the past, because they didn't have use of the internet. But see, what something happened that you were able to bring it out. You were able to talk about it. You told the truth and you shamed the devil. Yeah, so it's like these people, they no longer, they thought they had the stability, but they didn't see that they really didn't have it. They thought that you didn't have the stability, like you didn't know that. That's what it is. They thought that you didn't know that you had these gifts and that you could overpower them. But you knew. You always knew. And you knew that it was that collaboration. They came up against you, but they all are feeling this pain today. They came up against you to try and make you feel the pain, but it's not you, it's them. See, there was this, could be a mother that was trying to break up this partnership. You know, like one of these people in this, and the lovers is a high priestess, and this mother was trying to break up this partnership, because as long as they could keep you separated, as long as they could keep y'all at odds, then they would win. But then you showed up in all your strength, in all your power. You put your gifts to work. You weren't playing. And if you were playing, you weren't playing with them. See, as long as they could keep you down, as long as they could keep you, what's the word I'm looking for? Confused, not able to see everything that was going on in the dark so that you could bring it out to the light, then they would win. Somehow they would get this money, and they were looking to get this money, but they were looking to try and get it from you. It's like, if as long as they could keep you confused, they were able to siphon your energy, siphon your gifts, siphon your power, and that's how they kept regenerating themselves. But see, the wheel of fortune started turning in your favor. The wheel of fortune actually started turning out of somebody else's favor. Could be a mother figure. That wheel started spinning. And then it's like that mother figure, all of a sudden she felt like she needed to disappear. She needed to ghost the whole situation because she was feeling like a fool. I'm telling you, everything that was going on in the dark, you brought it to light. And they were so confused. They were confused how you were able to take back your power. Like, you were always a person that would give freely, and they thought that you would still be that type of person to give freely. But somehow you took your power back. And when you took your power back, it's almost like that completed that cycle, because then that left you completely full of what you needed to be able to take them down. Yeah, and you know what? When you took your power back, it's like these strikes, these curses that they had sent out to you, that you returned them swiftly, and that's when they started getting scared. Did I say hello, Wing Seer? I'm not really sure. You were able to defend yourself against these actions. I told you, you send all of those curses back. And that's whenever you call judgment on a situation. Then everybody started looking at you differently. That's when they got really scared of you. Because not only did they see that you were a high priestess and that you could see exactly what they were doing and exactly how they were trying to come to you, but they also could see now that you was a star, that you was a healer, that you had a lot of gifts. Hey, Stacks 777, how are you? Hey, Malcolm. That's whenever they could see that not only were you a high priestess, but you was also a healer. You have so many gifts that this person or this coven doesn't even know about. I don't even feel like you know about all your gifts. I don't feel like you've actually tapped into all of them yet, but they are slowly coming back. It's like the memory, and the memory that you have of your gifts may be from whenever you were a year old or 2 years old, before you could actually remember, but they're coming back to you. And these people are wondering how you're doing this. How is it that you could overpower them, and how is it that they lost? Because they were like, there's no way she remembers. There's no way he remembers exactly what all his gifts are. This is why they've been coming after you for so long. Because see, you may have been a baby and they were adults and they could see, you were one of those little children that they said, oh, they've been here before. They've been here before. You know how they say that? When you speak some truth and people are like, how do they know that? How did they figure that out? Because you've been here before. You know the truth. And this is why this father figure was so invested in bringing you some type of conflict. Because as long as you couldn't remember, as long as you didn't know, then the emperor, the father figure, would always be financially stable, would always have all of his dreams come true. I'm feeling like a Mason, the 33rd Mason. That's how I'm feeling. See, but they knew that the magic wasn't going to last forever. They just hoped it would. But now they're getting the message that it's time to let it all go. They can't continue because you refuse to continue. You called your power back, and there's nothing they can do about it. Now they are feeling the pain. They are feeling the pain that you felt for so many years. And they didn't exercise the caution that they should have when they was working to come up against you. But now they're receiving justice because everything is balancing itself out. You're getting what is yours. And they have no choice but to accept defeat because you brought everything to the light. They have no choice except to accept defeat. This is why you get to celebrate. This is why you get to smile. I feel like, you know what, you no longer have to actually protect yourself. Like, you're always going to be protected, but you no longer have to feel like you were in that battle any longer because they know they cannot get to you. They cannot defeat you. They cannot curse your name anymore. Because everything is out. You know when it's coming before it even reaches you. Yeah, they know that there's no more opportunities to curse you. They know that it's over. And you won. You won. So I feel like this coven, everything that was going on in the dark is being brought to the light. People are waking up. Even the people that were under a spell themselves to come up against you, they are now waking up. You know, if you happen to notice people just reaching out to you, people that you knew were secretly against you, but now they're waking up and they're reaching out to you, it's because they know, or that curse is being lifted. What's the message, Spirit? So you may hear from people that you haven't heard from in a while, and you're going to be like, whoa, what are they doing? Oh, wow, that's weird. How are they calling me again? What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah. See, this was about to fall upside down. They're not working together anymore. I'm telling you, people are starting to wake up and they no longer want to be a part of that pain. They are fine. They're exercising caution with this partnership. They don't want to be a part of this anymore because they are waking up to the fact that, you know what? I feel like I was manipulated. I feel like I was under some type of trance. And now they understand that while they were, collaborating, they got themselves stuck in a situation that they may not be able to get out of. People are looking at this mother, or whoever, and this mother, I feel like it is trying to get away, trying to leave a situation because everybody knows that this is over. The devil no longer has any reign. This devil's curse is done. Yes, because you were wise enough to figure it out. You were wise enough to go within and figure out what you needed to know. Hey, it's just Robbie. How are you, sweetie? Yeah, and the head of this group, the head of this group is receiving judgment. Not only is he receiving judgment, but he's scared. He's real scared. He's afraid of you. He's afraid of you because he knows there's nothing that he can do to defend himself against you. He knows that he lost. No, he's afraid of you because he knows that you know the truth and you called your power back. And that's what they're afraid of. It's like, and they're afraid of what you may choose to do. But see, you don't work like that. You're not that type of high priestess where you're gonna, condemn someone or try and curse someone. That's not you. That's them. And that's why this head of this coven is scared. Because this is somebody that worked on the right-hand side of the devil. And this is somebody that would stop at no lengths, would go to all lengths to take you down. But it didn't work. And whenever you try everything to crush your enemy and your enemy still comes out on top, that's when you get scared. This person is really afraid of you. Not only that, but they're starting to lose money. They're starting to lose their money. It's like going out, like they can't hold on to it. It's like every time they check their bank account, it's like, wait, I just had this much. Now how come it's down to this much? Where's all my money going? It's time to pay that piper. As your money grows, their money goes. Yeah. See, everything is being balanced out. How they tried to put these 10 swords in your back, everything is being balanced out. And you're bringing it out to light. And you know what? You may be getting that enjoyment just by watching them squirm, just by watching them get justice. Because they thought that they was invested. They thought that they was going to bring some type of conflict to you. But see, somebody else, this person left the group. This person has already left the group. Whenever they first started seeing things happening, this is the person who left the group, because they could see that the writing was on the wall. The red flags were waving all down the hallway. And so they said something, and they was like, well, I'll be right back. I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Right back. No. Don't check on me. Don't check on me. And they was gone. Because they found out that this witch had lied to them in the past, had lied to them in the past, but lied on you and have been lying on you. And they also knew that there was like this opportunity, that they were promised this opportunity if they came up against you. And that never happened. Ever. Yeah, this entire group is afraid of you, really. But the head of this group, that's the main one. Because they don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to act. And see, karma is, they're getting justice. They're getting justice because of what they tried to do. It didn't work out, but what they tried to do. We got 83 and 38. Yes, so everything is being mirrored back to them right now. Everything is being mirrored back to them. Yes, and like I said, this devil knows it's done. It rained conflict in your life for the last time. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Now this emperor is trying to think, how did they miss it? What is it that they didn't see? Kind of feeling sorry for themselves. Hey, Deborah, how you doing, sweetie? What they didn't see. And one thing that they didn't see was this person who was very diplomatic, who was being very diplomatic with them, even though, this person was watching this emperor bring this conflict. That's something that they didn't see. So it's almost like, while this emperor is trying to figure out what they didn't see, how come this plan didn't work? It's like they felt like they had everything just as it should be. Like, all I got to do is this. I know that this is going to work. I know that that's going to work. But see, nothing worked. Everything was kind of hung up. And the reason that things were hung up is because they had made a decision to try and come up against an earth angel. God was not going to bless this mess. God was not going to bless this mess, especially since the devil was the one that was trying to apply the pressure. The devil was the one that was trying to take you out. See, even that devil knew that they should have exercised some caution. That's how high ranking you are in the spiritual world. And so the leader of the coven, they're really afraid. Not only are they afraid of you and what you can do, they're afraid to deal with this devil. because they know that this devil would lie to them, even though the devil told them, hey, don't worry about it. You're good. Don't even worry about all that. They know that that devil would lie to them as well. I'm telling you, they are really afraid, as they should be. And they know they're not going to be able to defend themselves. They can't defend themselves against you, and they sure the hell cannot defend themselves against the devil, because they owe that. They have a price to pay. They are looking for any and every opportunity to get out of this. You know, it's like they're trying to see what they can work on to possibly, you know, see if they can hey, let's come together as a group. Let's come together as a family again. Let's do this, let's do that. Now they want to work with you. Whenever before they were just working against you. Because like I said, they was trying to do all this black magic, all of these curses for so long that, you know, but they didn't know that you was protected. They didn't know that you would be able to withstand the storm. They didn't know that you were actually one that was going to bring the storm. But now they're starting to use their logic because they got this message. And the message said they lost. The gig is up. Yeah, they can't do anything. What you give is what you get. And they're about to get these 10 swords in their back. Hey, Nurse Oasis, how are you, sweetie? Yep. And you, the whole time, you know, you were loving, you remained loving and kind, generous. This is why you have, and very intuitive. And you know, it's just like the entire time you just kept working on yourself, and your gifts kept multiplying, kept getting stronger. And this is how you were able to figure out who was sending the curse, and, you know, and smart enough to know to return the curse. This is how you got victory. It's like you were able to, yes, because you was able to defend yourself and call judgment on a situation. This is, see, they didn't plan on that. They thought that they would dangle something over here and you'd be busy looking over here, but they're trying to do something in the background. They didn't know that you, like they say, have eyes in the back of your head. They didn't figure that out. But now they know. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Something about somebody envisioned that they was just going to be able to bring this conflict. You know, they were trying to think that you was going to be a fool. And like I said, they thought that you was going to be a fool and not be able to figure it out. But, you know, God had told you not to trust this person. God had, whether God spoke to you in a dream, whether it was in a vision, but you knew not to trust this person. You knew the truth of the situation, and that's why you had to do some discernment. You treated somebody with a long handled spoon because you knew that they were trying to deceive you. What else, Spirit? I could see this person going through and making check marks. Like, okay, we got this, we got that. Check, 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 like they going down the list. Like they got everything planned, everything in place of how they was going to take you down, what actions they were going to actually do. But none of it worked. You was able to, that you was able to put, I don't know if it was holy oil or what type of oil it was. Could have been castor oil, could have been baby oil, it could have been shea butter, could have been coconut oil, I don't know, but you was able to slip through and slide through every type of sticky situation. Yeah, and now, like I said, somebody has ghosted the situation and everybody else is wondering where they went. They're like, well, where did Karen go? Karen was just sitting here spinning her wand, saying zippity 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 zoo, and now we turned around and Karen was gone because Karen knew it was time for her to get the hell up out of Dodge because she was afraid. They all afraid that you coming for that ass. What's the message, Spirit? Yes, because I'm telling you, the Empress, somebody's mother, knows she getting judgment. Judgment is being called on her. You know what? For trying to get in the middle of this relationship. But you know what? This relationship is going to be able to be healed. Because they both have a purpose here. That's the whole thing. Yes, God is going to make sure that that relationship is healed. Yeah, people see the truth about who this leader of this group is. And now everybody's looking at them with a bombastic side eye. They're like, you a greasy motherfucker? No, the fuck you didn't. This is the type of person that would secretly, underhandedly, try to instill some fear in somebody. Like they was trying to bully someone. That if you didn't do what I said to do, then I'm gonna do this to you. Hey, Earth sign. But now people are not afraid of that person. Now that nobody fears that person because they know that person's reign is over. Their time is through. What's the message, Spirit? Anything else from the stack? Thank you. Yeah, something about this message is coming. Yeah, and like I said, people are looking at somebody with a bombastic side eye because now they're starting to see the truth about everything that's happened. You can't make this up. They are seeing the truth about who this devil is and how this devil was sitting here doing this black magic and how these people how they should have used some caution when trying to interact with this devil. But you know what? This devil made himself look like, oh, I'm the wish fulfillment. I'm the one that's always doing this and always doing that. And oh, yeah, I'm so jovial. Ha, 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 ha. But they were shape-shifting. The entire coven right now is experiencing hardship. Everybody's experiencing hardship. Everybody wants to leave because now everybody is starting to wake up because they remember who you are. It's like they were at some point sleep to the fact of who you are, even though they knew it way back then. It's like this devil came and put some type of shield over their eyes so they couldn't truly see you. But now they're waking up. They're remembering that the veil is now lifted and they're looking at you and everybody's like, oh my God, what have I done? That's why they're looking at this devil with their bombastic side eye like, you motherfucker, you. Because they know You called your power back. And that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid that, you see, that's the thing. Everybody's afraid that because they know everything that they did to come up against you. They know how many times they all ganged up against you, and they are afraid that you're going to say, I'm about to take y'all down one at a motherfucking time. But that's not what we do. Anything else from this deck, Spirit? That's not what we do. We allow God to handle that situation, because guess what? God can get them better than we can. So much better than we can. What's the message? God called karma. We know she gonna get it. And that's the truth. We know karma is going to get them like we ain't never been able to get them before. Bottom of the deck. 7 of Cups. And they are so confused. They thought that they was going to have their wish fulfillment. This coven thought that it was going to have its wish fulfillment. It's going to be able to take you out, and that they was going to be able to keep you confused and not remember who you are ever since you was a child. But whenever you walked away, everything changed. Everything changed. Something about this group, they was doling it out. They was doling it out. They was sitting here, they was able to get whatever, was yours. They was able to keep that. But whenever you left, things changed. And as long as they said all this negative shit about you, they didn't have to worry about it. But I'm telling you, God stepped in and called judgment. God called judgment on these motherfuckers. When we call judgment, that's one thing. But when the Most High called judgment, oh, that's a whole nother thing. Every lie that they said about you, every mistruth, every anything that they said about you, it's like it got them all in their heart. Everybody all at the same time. When God called judgment, all at the same time, they could have been all asleep. It could have been like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, depending on their time zone. Everybody at that same time felt that stab in their heart, like, oh, am I having a heart attack? What's going on? They sitting there talking to each other the next day. You know what? I felt this. I did too. And it felt like it's same with me. They didn't know what the hell was happening. That's whenever this King of Cups said, oh, no, wait a minute. Hold up. I may have taken leave of my senses, but it's time for me to go. It's time for me to leave this group. I don't even need no clothes or nothing. It's time for me just to have faith and get on. That's when somebody said they needed to be by themselves. And they just said, no, I just want some time to think. That's all that was, because they knew this emperor and something about somebody's mama. They knew that they had did some underhanded snake shit. But they sitting here waiting because they know what's coming back. When the Most High calls judgment, your ass is grass. And here they are in regret for trying to take your gifts, trying to take what was yours. Everybody sees who was doing what. It's all out in the open. They can't hide. They can run if they want to, but they can't hide. And the wheel of fortune is turning out of the favor of the coven. They all getting some. They all getting backhanded, jack slapped, open hand slapped, closed hand slapped, popped, slopped, chopped, dopped, whatever. They all getting it. because you told the truth. You shamed the devil. And you were so intuitive. You, that high priestess that took everybody down. You wielded that sword and you said, I'm going to show you how to slice and dice. I'm going to show you how it's done. You spoke your truth. You closed that motherfucking chapter. And everybody was like, I don't know about y'all, but I tell you one thing. She sure the hell know how to slice and dice. You ever seen her cut up an onion or green pepper? Ever seen her chop some fine, she could even chop parsley good. You was like damn, ever scissor hands. Yes. And see, this father figure, everybody's knowing that he had the power of that tongue, that like he would say some type of spell with his mouth, and that's how he was able to get people to go along with him. That's how he was able to keep this money. But that and they had people thinking, oh, look at them, they such a happy family, they are so happy. No, everybody finds out that was a fucking lie, because you blew that shit to smithereens. Hey James, how are you? Hey Stack 777, kitchen witches, exactly. You blew that shit to smithereens. And now this person who thought that they was like the master magician, they found themselves in spiritual jail, because remember, the Most High called judgment. So somebody was doing way too much and they caught up. They didn't think that you was going to pick the right path, that you was going to pick the right way to go. But your intuition, you followed your intuition, and God said, I'm lighting up your path. Just follow the light. Go along the one with the buck. And you did. Not only that, but you was able to defend yourself against these spiritual attacks. They tried to attack your mind, your crown, your throat, your heart. You went through some medical issues and they thought, got him. And then whenever you pulled through and you came back, you bounced back stronger than ever. They was like, wait a minute. I thought you said that we got him. Because we can't even tell that this person was even sick. That's when they knew their time was limited. That's when they knew their shit was going down fast. And this could have been years ago that you had these medical issues. And the only thing that happened from then to now is you just got stronger and stronger and stronger. I'm telling you, while you were sick, while you was going through these medical issues, you just kept praying to God. God said, listen, I got you. I didn't get you this far. You got something to do for me, remember? You on my side. We a team, remember? You pledged your love to me. You didn't pledge your love to the devil, because I sat you down and I said, here's the deal. You can either pledge to God or you can pledge to the devil. And you was like, no. Easy one. God, I will always be on your side. I will live my life to please you. That's it. God said, that's all I need to hear. That's all I needed to hear. Yeah, I'm telling you, somebody thought that they was going to, I feel like they even tried to get your child, one of your children, to do this to you, to give you these 10 swords in your back. But you know what you did? It's like you left. You actually allowed spirit to carry you forward. You did what you had to do to save yourself. You left. And this warlock for a long time have been trying to pull the wool over your eyes, and for a long time have been trying to attack you because they also knew that you was a healer. They also knew you was a star. They also knew that you was going to reach the places that they could never reach. And that's why they were trying so hard to keep you down. But that shit didn't work. It only worked against them. You getting what's yours. That's a given. That's a given. God keeps God's promises. Trust and believe. And see, no matter what these people did, no matter what these people worked on, the one thing they did not see was God was handing you that cup of love. They thought that you were so busy looking down here. No, you was looking up there. Telling you, you have some strength within you that they can't mess with. They can't match that. You know, the whole time when you may have been in a hospital bed. You could have been in ICU. You could have had to have surgery some years ago. You could have just been really down and bad and had a convalescent home. But the entire time, you just kept praying to God. Praying to God. God said, I got you. I got you. I'm going to build you up. I'm going to turn you into the bionic man, or I'm going to turn you into the bionic woman. You're going to be bionic spiritually. They're not going to get you. You were so close to accomplishing the task that I set out for you. I'm not going to bring you this far just to let you go, just to let you fail. It's not going to happen. And now these people are sitting here worrying about everything, wondering if they can come and give you some little piddly ass apology for trying to create all these burdens. They're trying to attack you. They're trying, make it so that you took yourself out. And they're watching you. They're watching you. And they know that there's nothing they can do to get at you. You're balanced. You're an earth angel. You're healed. You are delivered. You're no longer even thinking about those people. All you're doing is speaking your truth. God said, don't even worry about this relationship because it's coming. You know, that somebody, they was trying to get somebody that was supposed to be with you. That was a fallen angel. And they were trying to keep this fallen angel down. But you know what? There's this song. It's like, when you fall down, get back up, or something like that. I don't know the words. Y'all know I don't know the words to any song except for the happy birthday song. That's it. But yeah, it's like they try to put something over this person's eyes so that this person couldn't see you for truly who you are. How abundant you are. How magnificent you are. They tried to make it seem like you was, like that witch was going to be something better than you. Not at all. And now that it's that same witch, telling you, this same witch has ghosted the whole situation. Because she afraid. She don't want to have to deal with the devil. But the devil said, you can run, but you can't hide, bitch. Where you going? Where you truly going? See, they thought that they was going to be able to invest in this, and they was all going to be able to, celebrate. Oh, after you was gone, they was going to celebrate. They wasn't going to use any money to bury you. They was going to use that money to throw a party. But now all that time and all that finances and all that investment that they did, it didn't leave them with nothing. Now they sitting here trying to count their pennies. Hey, hard to find. How are you? Hey, Infinity One. Infinite One. How are you, Infinite One? Yeah, we fall down, but we get up. That's the song. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, you know what? Like I said, something about you winning the war. You don't have to worry about fight, 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 fight anymore. It's like you surrender to God. You have won that war. And now it's like, it's so funny that, it's whenever I'm saying you won the war, because this is definitely somebody that's been at war, and they are holding this person up, the chosen one, up in high esteem. And now, like I said, this coven, they're sitting here thinking about this, regretting this decision, trying to see if they bring you some type of apology, would you accept it? But I feel like you're just gonna leave them out in the cold. Hi, Lies Never Stuck. How are you? Hi, Ravenclaw. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Yes. And see, this King of Cups, they know that they was a fool to even jump on that bandwagon. But you know what? I feel like this King of Cups is being shown grace. I really do. I feel like this King of Cups is being shown grace. Because now this King of Cups is saying, wait. I feel like they were trying to keep this King of Cups drunk for some reason. And every time, like this King of Cups would ask them something else, they would, hey, she's not. Oh, I know the words to that song. I know the words to that song too. The shot song. Shot, 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 shot. So that song and the happy birthday song, those are the two songs I know the words to. What's the message, Spirit? What else? What you say? Grace to save face. Oh, Lies Never Stuck. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm glad that you listened to that song though. But yeah, the sun is up. But this actually came in reverse, because I feel like this King of Cups finally woke up, but they when they woke up, they was not proud of what they was doing or how they was acting. But they finally woke up and they realized that they had fallen from grace. And I believe that's why God chose to give them grace, because they actually had a conversation with God and admitted that, yes, they fell from grace. That they too have a gift, that they too are intuitive, but they wasn't using their gifts wisely. I feel like this is somebody who's, made a promise that they were going to work on themselves, and so that they could ignore all of this outside chatter and just pay attention to how God is trying to lead, guide, and direct their steps. What's the message, Spirit? All right, K Hypsee. Enjoy your meeting. What's the message? What's the message? Thank you. Yep. Because they definitely felt the coldness. They definitely felt the disconnect. They definitely felt the disconnect. And they felt a certain way because of the lies that were told to them whenever they were a child. They knew that these were lies that were being told on you, because that was not their experience as a child. They knew that they were causing you all of this conflict and all this undue pressure for a long time. They knew it. I feel like somebody, had to, ask God for forgiveness. They really had a deep conversation. And they decided that they needed to work with someone else. They no longer needed to work with this coven. They now needed to work with you. But they were still in this hangman energy of having to clean up their life. Having to clean up their life. It's almost like they needed to figure out how they was going to get away from this witch. This witch could have been somebody in their family, but I feel like they had to figure out a way to get rid of this witch, or trying to figure out, why this witch was trying to, I don't know, something about this witch and trying to balance something out, or trying to figure out why would they even do this. You know how you like, oh my, why would you even do this? Yeah. Because they saw that this was not a happy family. They, and it was this witch that was trying so hard to keep this tower from falling. They knew this was not a happy family, and they knew that they was working with a coven. They knew they was working with a coven and a warlock. I feel like this is somebody who, had to find out some information. I feel like they really didn't understand what they was actually working with or working against, or who they was actually supporting. So I'm feeling like this was somebody that was younger. But they starting to receive their justice. They had to do some karma too. They having to work through this karma too. Because no matter what, they have to get right. They have to work through this karma. And part of this karma is, they have to receive what they put out, but they was also told to leave. Leave. Don't try and stick around. Don't try and be, well, I'm going to be diplomat. Spirit said, get the fuck on. If I'm giving you grace, you better get the fuck on. What's the message? You ain't going to get no grace and you still hanging around the same people. It ain't working like that. You need to decide what's really, truly important and then go in that direction. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Anything else from the stack? Okay. Yeah. Cause see, this person, it's like they are upset. They couldn't sleep. They surrendered as well. This King of Cups had to surrender, and that's why they couldn't sleep either. They was fighting against, they had to realize they were fighting against the wrong one. It was like they were fighting their ego, their pride. They was fighting some made up bullshit. They was believing confirmation. They was believing in a lie, and then choosing to fight against you, as opposed to holding you up and being on your side. Confirmation. What else, Spirit? Bottom of the, oof, Lord have mercy. The Tower. I'm telling you, this High Priestess wiped this entire coven out. Yes. Everything that they thought that they had did, they didn't do. Hey, the light. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yes, everything that they thought that they did not do. I appreciate that, Delight. She said, get them likes up, y'all. Thank you so very much. Yeah, because we have 110 in the chat, but 66 likes. Could we get some more likes, please? Everything that they thought that they was going to do to you, they found out that they just did it to themselves. And now they having the answer, and they are in deep regret for trying to come up against you, for trying to attack you. They are in deep regret. And trying to figure out, how did they not see that you was a whole earth angel? How did they not see this? Like, you got wings and all. It's like, how did we not see this? How did we not see that this earth angel is sitting here working for God? This is, how did we not see this whole thing? I'm telling you, that the group, the head of this coven, they're realizing that nothing that they thought was going to work was actually working. Nothing. And then they actually thought and they're confused. They're confused because they felt like, they was going to be able to, them two, this warlock and this witch, that them two together was going to be able to trap you, because they felt like they had enough magic, black magic and power between the two to keep your gifts from you, from keep you from remembering, keep you from figuring it out. But you know what? Spirit said, no, not today, not this lifetime, not this go around. And they tried to schmooze you. They tried to act like, oh, we love you. But that's not how they was acting. Like they was saying it, but they wasn't showing it. And they just knew that it was a matter of time. When things, it's like they tried to stop things from happening in your life. And it happened for a while. For a while, they were able to halt things. They was able to slow things, and things were really slow coming into you. But then something happened. You took your space. And once you took your space, God said, good. Now I can go ahead and work on you, give you everything you need, and more importantly, work on them and give them everything they deserve. Yeah, because this with this relationship, with this partner, with this person, they had to come to the realization that, what, they had been there with you. They knew you from a long time ago. I'm talking several lifetimes ago. And it was something always happened that you two were always separated. But this time, someone woke up to the realization that they actually have to defend you. They actually have to protect you. They actually have to work with you. They actually have to make sure that nobody else can get to you. And this is why this fallen angel decided it was time for them to work on themselves, and they had to step out on faith. They had to leave that coven. They had to go elsewhere because things weren't sitting right with them. Like I said, if you look right here, they sitting here fighting their feet, trying to fight their fears. Things weren't sitting right. And this person was drinking a lot because they were trying to forget the memory, but you couldn't forget the memory because this Queen of Swords had already spoke her truth and was able to defend herself. And people was like, wait a minute. It's like the more they talked about it, the more people were asking them questions they didn't want to answer. And it's like every time they didn't want to answer, and they, but somebody else would say something. It's almost like it was something to wake them up, something to wake them up a little bit more. And like, how you going to have this Queen of Swords out here protecting herself, but you going to be with this whole crew? But this Queen of Swords, and you go way, way, way back. So this is when somebody started doing their research, doing their homework, seeing how they can get, how they can move forward, how they can have, spirit carry them forward, because somebody started getting concerned and they realized that they was acting really immature. This is why they needed to leave things alone. They needed to just drop that whole victory. Oh, good. We stopped spinning. Yeah, they knew you was going to get victory. So it's like, why am I doing this? And then on top of that, it's like you were strong enough to stand up against this entire coven. The entire coven's trying to attack you, but you was the one that was strong enough to stand up against them. I'm telling you, they all woke up feeling that same pain in their heart. Everybody woke up like, oh my God, oh my God, it was so weird. Somebody's like, you know what? I felt like I was having a heart attack. I did too. What time was yours? Mine was at 2. Damn, mine was at 2 as well. They're comparing notes. And that's whenever everybody got scared of you. Because they felt like you would put a hex on them. Like they tried to put a hex on you. You didn't. You healed yourself. You let that shit go. Because you knew what comes around goes around. And you knew the God was getting ready to whoop that shit right on back around. You completed that cycle. And then on top of that, you knew that whatever goes on in the dark was coming to the light. See, this family wanted you to remain in the dark. They wanted you to play the game to make it seem like, oh, no, I'm happy. No, we all like this. No, you wasn't like that. You was like, you know what? I don't talk to them motherfuckers, and I don't let them motherfuckers talk to me. We ain't spoken years. In fact, last time I spoke to this bitch, I was like, bitch, it's on sight. You wasn't sugarcoating shit. You wasn't lying about shit. You wasn't being afraid to speak your piece. You let it be known what the hell was going on. And word got around town, baby. Everything that you said, it went through like wildfire. Word got around town, and that's how these attacks was being sent back, because everybody was like, oh my gosh. And then they started remembering and thinking about, you know what, I sure do. They started thinking about shit and noticing shit about what this emperor had told them, had showed them, had this, had that. And plus karma, they started getting their just due. Everything that they said, everybody started getting their just due. Even whenever they was trying to do that little nice, nasty, oh, well, they doing good. If you a drug addict and you can do good. Or, oh, she doing good. She just a work. Oh, really, where she work? Oh, she a hooker down on Fifth Street. That kind of bullshit. That kind of bullshit lying, saying that, oh, if they would just stop, half the shit, it would have been okay. But when they want to add that extra, all that because they was trying to come in and attack you for your gifts. They knew you had these spiritual gifts, but you left. You left. I feel like, too, somebody that this King of Cups was working with, this King of Cups overheard a conversation. This King of Cups overheard a conversation about how they was ciphering your money, how they was getting your money, what they was going to do with it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to give you this part. This King of Cups overheard that shit. And that's when this King of Cups knew it's for time for them to make a different plan, because they knew judgment was coming. And they didn't want to be a part of that shit anymore, because this person already knew they did too much. They did too much, and that shit was getting ready to come back around on them as well. What else, Spirit? Somebody has had an awakening. They see things differently now, especially since everything is out in the open. They see everything differently now. And that the head of this coven, oh, they are under spiritual attack themselves. They're in spiritual jail just for trying to manipulate you, just for trying to steal from you. I don't know what made them think that they was going to be able to do it. See, they thought that they could keep the wool over your eyes, keep you confused. But no, they wasn't going to be able to. Because you remembered everything, you saw everything, you spoke your piece, you received God's blessing, and you're working here for the Lord. You're working here doing your purpose. You're in your purpose. That's what it is. You are in your purpose, and you ain't letting nobody stop you. They know they can't stop you. They know they cannot mess with you. They can mess with you, but they're not going to like the outcome, Because you are the empress. You are the giver of life. And they are concerned. They are very concerned because justice is here. Then that accident, that was no accident. You saved your entire legacy. That was no accident that they tried to get you involved in. Telling you so. This fallen angel is picking himself back up. You better take this shit seriously. He is receiving grace right now from the Most High. And you don't take that, like they said, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. They have to realize that they have a title or some status that they need to fulfill. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If God says, okay, I'm going to show you some grace, I'm going to give you another chance, they finally woke the fuck up. See? Because they were sweating bullets before they found out they was going to get some grace. Yeah, because they had to sit with themselves and think, what have I done? What else, Spirit? Thank you. See, now it all makes sense. Something about, and they don't know how you evaded their schemes. They tried everything. And it's like I said, you had some type of holy oil, baby oil, olive oil, coconut oil, some type of butter. I don't know what you had, but you just slid past all of those little schemes. And their karma is coming back as legal issues, and the world is going to hear about this shit. This is some shit that they started 10 years ago. They started really trying to take you out 10 years ago. This could have been between 10 years ago to now is when you was having these medical issues, when you was really going through the thick of things. But I'm telling you, God is in the building, baby. God is in the building, and they are just mad because you were born a boss. Hello. And now these people are sitting here looking like a bully after you survived everything. And they're stuck in the place where you were supposed to be. And they are upset with you because you're able to rest soundly. You ain't worrying about that because you was able to reclaim your inheritance. Yep. Somebody put it in the comments already. A church witch. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. Hey, Create. How are you? Thank you so very much. I appreciate y'all. I'm getting ready to record for the members, and I will go ahead and put that up later tonight or early tomorrow morning. It's just going to be recorded. Thank you so very much, J. Mike. And Then I'm going to send a link to Alicia because J. Mike was Santa Claus and blessed her with a free reading. So, all right, y'all. I love y'all. I will see y'all in the morning. Everyone, have a good evening. And let's pray for each other. This high priestess that whooped this coven's ass. Way to go! Woo! Way to go! Hey, Josie. Thank you so very much. I will enjoy my evening. Thank you so much, Devery. All right, y'all. I love you all, and we'll talk soon. Good night.